Good afternoon, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with the wonderful Richard Robello, the always talkative gentleman at my side as we deal with the Final Order Cutoff that will be coming on this Monday. For those of you unfamiliar with the Final Order Cutoff, this is something that we retailers and comics deal with every Monday, where we have to finalize our comics for books that are coming out in 3 weeks. This Monday, we will have to finalize our orders by 8 p.m. on October 28th. And this is where we ask you guys to help us as we go over and bring up some of the new books that are coming out, special issues, in other words. And you can tell us how many copies you'd like, which specific covers you want, and we can guarantee your order as long as you get us those numbers in before 8 p.m. on Monday. We can order you 50 copies of the B cover of Firefly number 11, or 25 copies of the main cover of Absolute Carnage number 5. However you want to do it, as long as you tell us what covers you want and how many, we can guarantee that these will all be taken care of for you in 3 weeks. Now, if you would like to see what we're seeing, or see all the items, because we're not going to cover every single book that's on Final Order Cutoff, you can go to previewsworld.com/finalordersdue. That's previewsworld.com/finalordersdue. I am sure the wonderful George Sangster, who is always in our comments, will get a link there, or someone else will, and you can find that in the comments to click directly upon, so you can see all these images, see the beautiful cover options, and learn a little bit more than we're talking about in detail on the website. So, with that, how should we start it out?
I would say we start with Boom like we always do.
Boom it is. So Boom has some fun ones coming in this week. I definitely love the Firefly 11 covers. You should take a look at those on previewsworld.com. But the big one we're going to want to talk about is actually a new series called Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. Looks great. It's actually written by Lovett, and she's also doing the artwork. You might remember her from the Faithless series. She did the artwork in that. This is a new story from Boom. It is about high school kids, and the main protagonist is a female who falls in love with the popular boy in school, but turns out he's got a macabre side where he likes to drink blood.
Hopefully for vampiric reasons and not just the taste.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. I loved Faithless. I know many of you did as well. This one may not be as mature as Faithless, but something I would like to point out, Mirka Andolfo, the stunning artist of Unnatural and so many other great books right now, is doing a variant cover that just became available for Final Order Cutoff. I know that Richard just told me before this that he wants that added to his pull. I personally am going to jump on this book with that Mirka Andolfo cover. I'm sure Stacy is somewhere in the background. This is the reason why we do the Final Order Cutoff. This book that looked good on its own just looks so much greater with the option of this variant cover by a top artist. So now's the time to get your orders in, especially if you want multiple copies.
And I would point out that on the Previews World, when you click on the Mirka Andolfo cover, it doesn't actually have an image loaded yet, but I have seen it. I had to do a Google search to find it. It is out there, and it is definitely...
I will make sure that there is an image in the comments after we get off live, so if you're watching this later, it should be in the comments. If you're watching it live, check back after we finish, and there will be a comment with a photo of that B cover by Mirka Andolfo. It is beautiful. I think Ken, who's also watching right now, had requested that variant, so we'll make sure he gets one as well.
And then you just not to keep touching on them, but not to
They're
get too
amazing books, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, we want to make sure we point them out. But if you're already reading these series, we don't want to keep going over them every single week. But Once in Future number 4 is coming out, but also the second printing of number 3,
which means an awesome, and I mean awesome, new cover of King Arthur. Full chest explodes, bloody art, everything. It is haunting, and you're going to want that one. So make sure you give us a heads up if you do want it, so we order it for you.
And we're also getting Something is Killing the Children number 3, and this is another one where they did a late entry for the FOC variant. This one does have the image loaded, so you can check it out on their website. It's really cool looking. But those FOC variants are basically kind of late entries, so they're going to be low print runs. A lot of people end up missing them, so that's why, like Matthias said, it's important to be following this show.
Yeah, I mean, especially with later printings, it's always a big deal. Like, I still have first printing number 3s if you guys want them, because we take care of you like that. But in the same, if you want these later printings, I have first printings available, so you got to give me the heads up if you want these alternate covers. They are beautiful, but we only order so many. Now, that being said, also we want to point out with FOC variants, those are also really key rare items. And Werther Del Edra did a beautiful one for Final Order Cutoff on Something is Killing the Children 3. So if you see the cover at previewsworld.com/finalordersdue and you want it, give us a heads up.
It kind of has a Middle West vibe going on.
Yeah, I would really say that. It almost kind of has that George Corona look. Or Jorge Corona?
Jorge, George.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Moving on to Dark Horse. Obviously, the Disney's Little Mermaid and Aliens are continuing. There's a lot of issue number 2s out this week, or later issues. And we don't go spend too much time talking about those, but if you're not already subscribed to them, this is where I start cutting my orders a little bit tighter. So to make sure that you're not rushing to the store to get it, or you come here too late and it's sold out, that is a really good time to add things to your pull list.
Including that Count Crowley number 2, which we get to find out what happened at the end of that, and it definitely took that darker turn.
Yeah, that ended up being a real surprise. It was very fun. I mean, I was hoping it was going to be, but it confirmed that it was a fun, goofy book. If you haven't already, come grab issue number 1 of Count Crowley's Reluctant Monster Hunter.
EC type of homage, too, which is...
Yeah, a haunting cover. I like it. Critical Role I want to bring up again also, as I'm going to be cutting numbers on that, but it is a popular online series. I know a lot of customers come in that aren't traditional comic customers popping in. Thank you very much, Ken, for getting that link into our comments. You can see the www.previewsworld.com/final orders due now in the comments. But yeah, Critical Role, Vox Machina, it's amazing. We just had the trade paperback of the original series come out, so you can all read that. And Volume 2 is coming up towards the end with issue 4 in 3 weeks, so make sure you start getting those orders in. Anything else we want to talk about on Dark Horse?
There's a bunch of just issues 3s and 4s coming out. So if you're following a series, make sure you get, if you're not already have your entire series on the pull list for long term, go ahead and make sure you get those done.
And if Ian is watching, thank you. I just got your message of what you want actually on this FOC, so thank you. Let's go DC.
Moving on to DC.
The big one we got to talk about, like, it's not a new series. You know this. You all know this, but we sell out every single issue because no matter how much I order, it's not enough. And I keep upping my orders, is Batman. Tom King is blowing it out of the water right now. It is incredible. So much so that I actually have the first volume of the Rebirth series that he did on sale right now, so you want to rush into the store if you're not reading it and grab the trade. But no matter how many issues I order, we keep selling out. And this issue has 2 brilliant beyond belief covers. I mean, you want to talk about
Absolutely. You got the cardstock variant, which is something they've been doing for a while, but the cover A is actually really cool. It's kind of a flip on to an homage of Bane breaking Batman's back.
Yeah, the classic Batman 497.
So Batman, and this one is breaking Bane's back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Mikhail Janine, who did the interior art, did that cover. It looks awesome. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna pick up both covers. They're amazing because the other cover is Francesco Mantina, and it's Thomas Wayne in full bat gear. Oh, it's cool.
Well, not full. He's got some tears in it, but
yeah, there's a little bit of blood,
he's
ruining the costume.
definitely at the end of a badass fight.
Yeah, which I'm expecting to see in this because in the last issue, oh my God, like Tom King has been upping this, finally revealing Batman's knowledge of the whole plot, and it is coming down to the fight between Batman versus Bane and Thomas Wayne, and it is going to be incredible. I am so hyped up for this. And I'm actually seeing people writing things down now to get their final order cut off right behind the camera, so this is actually really cool to see.
Yeah, George is a huge Tom King fan. Yep. Never mind. We've actually been on that one for a while. Creature of the Night.
Yeah, Creature of the Night finally wraps up.
4.
Yeah, we got Batman Giant, of course, continuing on. The big Batman one, though, as I can even talk about Ra's al Ghul, the big one we want to talk about is we know you all love White Knight. I can't keep that one in stock either. Batman White Knight is one of the best Batman comics ever. Hands down released. Sean Murphy is kicking ass with it. And he is doing a one-shot to tie in with his second volume, Curse of the White Knight. It is Batman White Knight presents Von Freeze.
Yeah, this is the one I've been waiting for this one. Just off the cover alone, I added it to my pull list a while back. But in this story, it's like I said, it's a one-shot. Victor Von Freeze, on the night of Bruce Wayne's birth, he has to save Martha as well as Bruce Wayne himself. And while doing so,
Thomas Wayne.
No, he's saving Bruce Wayne because he's being born.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry, you're asking me. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is being born. Von Freeze is stepping in to save Martha's life so she can give birth to Bruce. To reiterate. While he's doing that, he's distracting Thomas Wayne by telling him a story of his 2 fathers, or 2 father figures. And this actually goes back to World War II and the Nazi era, and one of his father figures was a Nazi and the other one was a Jew. So this story is definitely going to be one to read. I can't wait. It also, I guess, the two father figures work together at some point and are the inventors of the cryogenics that Victor Von Fries is working on.
Yeah, and we should also point out that while Sean Murphy writes and draws all of White Knight, he is only writing this one-shot special. We have the legendary Klaus Johnson, one of the top artists in the industry, who is behind some of the best Batman stories out there, who is going to be doing the art on this one.
But Sean did do the cover.
Yes, Sean did. Oh, very, very beautiful cover. There's actually two covers, if I recall. Yeah, one of them is actually done by Klaus, though. So,
which we can't see.
Yeah. This is what I have to deal with orders. If you ever were curious, you can go and see exactly what I'm doing, on previewsworld.com/final orders due. Click the link in the comments. Dollar comic you want to talk up there?
Comics for Luthor #1.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories ever. Brian Azzarello and Lieber Maggio doing a story of Lex Luthor versus Superman from Luthor's side. And as much as we will always view Lex Luthor as the villain, you will never think of Superman as more evil a person than this Lex Luthor perspective. It is an incredibly well-written and masterful twist on the classic tale.
And then you also have the Green Lantern facsimile, issue 85.
That classic Speedy's a junkie, cover. Like, that's actually the only Green Lantern issue I don't own from that run of Green Lantern and Green Arrow. So, yeah.
I guess you're adding it to your pool.
Oh, absolutely. Wow.
Moving on, we got Harleen #3.
Yeah, I mean, issue #2 drops this Wednesday. You guys ate up all of our first printings #1. We thankfully got restock, and we have a little bit left, so you want to rush in and grab that. It is the origin of Harleen Quinzel before and as she turns into Harley Quinn.
Another one that's new, actually, is the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is going to be a 6-shot.
Masters of the Multiverse.
I apologize.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 6-shot. Written by Tom Seeley.
Tim Seeley.
Tim Seeley.
Now I get to correct you, yeah. No, it's awesome. I'm super hyped about this.
But anyway, I'm a fan of it from being a child and watching it as a kid. So eager to see what they're doing here. I'll let Matthias talk about it more because he probably knows more, but don't miss out on that cover B because that's actually absolutely stunning with Skeletor on the cover.
Yeah, I mean, new Masters of the Universe storyline. It's going to have He-Man and all of the, Prince Keldor and all of the very interesting, classic characters, Skeletor, etc. It's got an awesome In-Hyuk Lee cover. I can't see, any reason not to grab this amazing book. I'm actually really, really hyped on this. Let's see, what else do we got, of any, major note? Obviously, things like Justice League, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's getting another giant. We're going to get new stories in that from Mark Russell, the man who's bringing us Second Coming, and so many other great titles. The big one, though, I think the last major DC one we got to talk about is Tales from the Dark Multiverse, because we've been loving these one-shots. The first one was just a huge, awesome tale that retook Nightfall and had a completely different outcome. The one in 3 weeks is going to be Infinite Crisis, and we're going to see James Tynion, the future writer of the main Batman series, the man replacing Tom King, with Aaron Lepestre, a great artist, to talk about what happened in Infinite Crisis. The whole death of Ted Kord, all these clashing universes and timelines, now altered in a much darker way, where maybe Maxwell Lord gets away with it.
Yep. And this one actually revolves around the Blue Beetle, which is nice to see them bringing that character back and doing a lot more lately with that. I do know that there are rumors that he's supposed to appear somewhere in some DCEU type of TV show or movie at some point, but we'll see. But that could be why they're bringing the character back, to bring back the popularity and get fans ready again.
Yeah, I'm excited on that. I know that we have a issue #1 and issue #8 of of Crisis on Infinite Earths that are now in our both dollar bins, and we have a facsimile of the Death of Flash in #8. But this is all getting you excited for those of you that are watching the TV series, the upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths and Flash, Arrow, Batwoman, and Supergirl. Yeah, so I mean, perfect time to hop in for this. And it's a tie-in technically to the Dark Knight's Metal Batman Who Laughs stuff.
I'm eager to read it because of Tynion. I would like to see how he handles the DC universe before I jump onto the Batman series that he's going to be picking up. So it's kind of a good way of getting in on the cheap and not having to commit.
Yeah, I mean, he's been kicking butt obviously on Something is Killing the Children, which we've talked up a million times. So let's see where it goes. Moving on to Dynamite. As always, this is a company who publishes variants like nobody's business, but they make some sexy, wonderful variants. And I know that many of you guys are enjoying everything from Red Sonja to Vampirella, Chastity, onward. So Chastity hits its 3rd issue and has some great variants. You're going to want to check the link down below, previewsworld.com/finalordersdue, to see what covers you might want. I think there's a great homage to the Adventure Comics first appearance of the Legion of Superheroes in there. A wonderful, as you pointed out,
Rolling Stone style cover. Yeah. Almost looks like a Janet Jackson cover, but without someone standing behind her.
That's Ali Garza, doing the artwork on that. Yeah, I mean, there's beautiful covers, and I'm loving this book. So, that and Vampirella, number 5, has a million covers by big-name artists from Gillian March, Terry Dodson. There's cosplay covers. There's just a ton. And the one I'm really looking forward to is that Hetrick cover, like that is Final Order Cutoff. Like, looks stunning.
Yep, that's the one I'm going to be adding to my pool. Yeah. FOC order.
2, yeah. Guarantee you Ken will at some point, in here pop in and say, I want that Hetrick cover.
Although I am waiting for them to load the image on cover A.
Yeah.
Which is also an FOC issue.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Castro's
cover A ended up being... No, it is not cover A. I apologize. It's just an additional FOC bonus issue.
Yeah, Terry Dodson's doing the main cover on that. Oh, whew, Terry Dodson, he's got my money. IDW, of course, is continuing Alan Moore's classic From Hell, remastered with Eddie Campbell coloring his old original artwork and adding additional information. That's really cool. Obviously, Canto number 6 is on there, but you guys don't need to worry about that because we got your Canto covered. Remember, November 9th, we're going to have David Booher in here signing, and you'll be able to grab Canto number 6, the final issue of Canto's opening storyline, weeks before any other comic shop anywhere else in the world. You will be able to pick it up here first at Knowhere Games and Comics and get it signed by the creator and writer David Booher. It doesn't get better than that. Talking up a little bit of the Glow versus
I love Glow. Yeah. I actually was a fan as a kid watching Glow on TV. The new series on Netflix is fantastic. This is where this comic book stems from. This one is Glow versus the Babyface. The 2 reasons why I wanted to point this one out is there is actually a seed cover that's not shown that's phenomenal. I don't know if it's going to be a store...
That'll be the 1 in 10 ratio
1 in 10 ratio variant. It's really gorgeous. But on top of that, the writers, there's 2 writers for this, is Amy Garcia and AJ Mendez. And if you are a fan of wrestling, you would know that AJ Mendez also goes by the name of AJ Lee. And she was the Divas champion for, I think she's the longest reigning Divas champion. So you have someone writing a women's wrestling story that actually is a woman wrestler. I can't wait. This is going to be great to read.
Well, there's all the more reason, yeah. And there's Ken. I knew it with the Hetrick. We're getting him that one. All right. So, obviously, we have continued other things with Sonic, TMNT, Urban Legends in 19, Star Trek Discovery. So, all sorts of fun IDW stuff. You can check that yourself at previewsworld.com/finalordersdue. Tell us what you want. You can call us, comment, email us, Facebook us, however you want. Get us those orders, and we'll make sure you get them. So, let's do Image.
Jump into Image. Now, we got a dual one right here. The Marked, which just recently came out, and there was a signing here in the store.
We only have a few signed copies left of the first printing, so rush in and grab these. But if you don't, second printing's coming out in 3 weeks, so tell us and we'll get you that.
Not only is the second printing coming out, but at the same day, the issue number 2 will be coming out. And there are some absolute stunning variants for that as well. So if you missed out and you can't get in here to get the signed copy, make sure you get issue 1, the second print, along with your issue 2.
You might want that second print even if you got it, because the new cover is just stunningly beautiful. Yep. It's is that I believe it's Bennis, one of our lead females, tattooed up on the front cover. Yeah.
And this is a series that has been optioned for a TV show.
Yeah.
No details really on that.
We got a little bit of details, but we can't share them.
It definitely does sound like it's a little bit more than optioned.
It sounds a lot of exciting, I'll say that.
It is definitely going to be cool.
That and Sonata, so I mean, you don't want to miss out on anything Brian Haberlin puts out. He's an awesome guy. He's a guy who is going to be making waves when these TV series eventually come out. But yeah, Marked, awesome series. You want to get your pre-orders in on that. Olympia is coming out actually from Image in 3 weeks. It is Kurt Pura's new miniseries. It's going to have a double-sized issue for just $4. It deals with Olympian or Greek mythology.
It sounds like a story about me, a latchkey kid who spends his days alone reading comic books.
We wouldn't know anybody like that, would we? Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a comedic and heartfelt looking comic. I think it's going to be interesting to see Alex Diodo doing artwork. You know, it's definitely got the European vibe to it. But yeah, if you're interested, make sure to get that orders in on that one.
And for you younger viewers, just Google what latchkey means. Sorry.
Yeah.
I realize that half this stuff is like, I'm making 80s and 90s references and
yeah. But yeah, so other great ones coming out: Safe Sex, Weatherman, all that. You can once again view them at previewsworld.com/finalordersdue. Make sure to look through all of this stuff and tell us whatever you want in any quantity, specific covers. We'll make sure you get it. Now we got to get to the big one, Marvel. Marvel's always got a lot to talk about here, and we're going to start it off with
2099. Alpha number 1. So 2099's a series that's going to be launching again, but this is the first book. It's a standalone to launch the entire series, to go into all the individual character storylines. So if you're planning on getting the 2099 or it sounds interesting to you, this is the one to get, so that way you can know what the story's arc is going to be moving forward.
And I mean, spinning out of Amazing Spider-Man, if you've been reading Nick Spencer's amazing run, you know where this is going. In the last issue, we saw some problems with Miguel O'Hara in the year 2099. This is where that series is going. It will undoubtedly be crossing over a bit with Spider-Man, as well as several other one-shots focusing on what versions of these characters that we're used to are doing in the year 2099. Wow, actually, I want to say a century, but now I realize we're in 2019, so it's 80 years from now.
Yep. And if you're familiar with Marvel, you know that every time they launch a new giant story arc, that be on the lookout for all the tie-in variants across all the different titles. So.
Yes, almost all the Marvel books this month are going to have B covers that are 2099 themed variants. They're not necessarily all tying into the 2099 event, but they'll have really cool covers which have our classic and beloved characters in their 2099 form, like we saw on X-Men #1 last week. Also, if you're grabbing Absolute Carnage, I know we're selling out and everybody wants specific covers on that. Make sure take a look at previewsworld.com/finalordersdue and get us the cover choices on 2099 Alpha, Absolute Carnage #5, and all the other Marvel books that you want specific covers on.
And this is the final issue of the Absolute Carnage, and there is a tie-in to that. There's going to be that. Might be the final tie-in. Actually, Venom, I believe, is the final tie-in in a couple weeks. But there's one more tie-in, Absolute Carnage, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
It's going to be a one-shot. But expect Donny Cates to do something huge, since this is issue 5 of 5.
Yeah, Emily Lerner writing that one. It should be interesting, especially with Chewie playing a role in that.
Chewie gets carnageized.
Ooh, was that spoilerish?
Well, if it is, it's in the solicit.
Yeah. Obviously, second printings on Amazing Spider-Man 31, which tied into Absolute Carnage, as well as we're going to get the Amazing Spider-Man 34, which obviously ties into 2099.
The big series that's coming up is Annihilation Scourge.
Yeah.
That's one I've been waiting for.
Annihilation is... If it wasn't for Annihilation, we wouldn't be called Knowhere. I will put it that way. Annihilation is the big cosmic Marvel events. They have always been amazing. From the very first Annihilation that Keith Giffen just rocked out of the park, to Annihilation Conquest, which put the Guardians of the Galaxy as we know them in their modern form together in 2008. We had War of Kings, which was an absolutely amazing Annihilation epic, and now we're back to it in Annihilation Scourge, which is going to have an Alpha, an Omega, and a four-part one-shot, 4-issue miniseries / 4 separate one-shots focusing on various cosmic characters. Matthew Rosenberg tying it all together with some awesome artwork from various creators. We're going to have big names like Silver Surfer. We're going to have Nova. We're going to have Annihilus, obviously, is back at it.
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, nothing like a big old cosmic hammer.
This is going to be big. Not only is it tying back to like he said just a moment ago about all the previous Annihilation stories, but there's a reason Marvel's really figured out how to tie their comic books to the movies in a way that it at least gets readers interested in things that they might be doing down the line. As you just noticed, I don't know if you follow the movies, but Richard Rider as Nova has been rumored to be... He was supposed to have been in Endgame, so they're probably going to be bringing him into a movie. There's rumors about Silver Surfer, there's rumors about Beta Ray Bill, and for some reason they're all tied into this new story arc going.
So could this be the next wave of films?
It could be. I don't know if they're going to use this story arc, but they definitely want you to get excited about these characters.
I'm already always excited about these characters. Honestly, the cosmic universe of Marvel is probably my favorite part of Marvel. So I'm hyped. We're ordering big on this, but we need your backing. We need you to tell us what you want, what covers, and show the support and love that I think that this book really deserves. So, onwards. I mean, you want to point out that Captain Marvel a bit because you got excited
12.
about this.
So, Captain Marvel 12. There's two big things to point about this. Yes, it's issue 12. So, if you're not reading it, you're probably wondering who cares. It's 12 issues in. You didn't even really talk up it when we were on issue 3s of other books.
I mean, it's been selling out though.
Captain Marvel 12. Story arc wise, you have whether or not Captain Marvel's going dark versus Star being possibly dark. The cover's been, secret for a
Solicitations
while.
might have spoiled that, yeah.
But there is a 2099 variant tie-in
By the great Terry Dodson.
This one is very interesting because it's not a character that they are doing a 2099 book for, which is Captain Marvel.
I don't think we've ever seen Captain Marvel in the year 2099 either.
Yeah, and as we were discussing before we went live, I thought it was very interesting. If you take a look at the artwork, it's kind of reminiscent of a previous Captain Marvel, but 80 years in the future. So who could it be? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe... What are you laughing
Sorry,
at?
George's comment there.
Spice Girls on Matthias and... What?
And tell them what you
No,
want, what you really, really want in your comment poll.
Tell-
There you go, George. That's that comment involvement. George, just come on here. Right here. George hiding off screen as he leaves comments.
That's the schmuck that leaves all the comments. But I totally
Dead on
lost
that one,
track
yeah.
of everything.
So we were
now.
talking about
I was
2099
saying
Captain Marvel.
The
Yeah.
character is very reminiscent of a previous Captain Marvel. My speculation is, could we possibly be looking at the first appearance of Monica Rambeau's maybe granddaughter?
I think that would be a huge twist, and I mean, it's a possibility. We have seen theme month variants, even though they have nothing to do with the story inside the comic, lead to first appearances before. We saw that with Spider-Gwen. We saw that with Gwenpool. We've seen it with various other ones. It's always that possibility, and he makes a very valid point. This could be the speculation that just blows up later, especially if it is, as you said,
Monica Rambeau's granddaughter? It would definitely be something really cool. Monica Rambeau is maybe my second favorite Captain Marvel. Possibly because I own the book, but that's not why I'm talking it up. But even if it isn't, it's a really cool artwork on the variant. So there's that. You can't really lose on this one. If you're doing it for spec purposes, it's great. If not, you get a good looking book.
yeah, I think you sold me on it. I wasn't originally going to grab that cover. It's beautiful, but now I think I have to. Like, you don't want to risk, not having that. A little bit of the FOMO there.
But of course, now that I said it, it's totally not going to be that. Because I've missed out on everything.
Well, not to mention, there's also a wonderful Inyuk Lee variant as well as the great Mark Brooks variant, so lots of fun to be had, a lot of cover options on that one, and that one will be a big book. The other big one I have to point out is Deadpool is getting a new ongoing series. We're leaving the Scotty Young era, and we're going into Kelly Thompson, one of my favorite writers. I talk about her on every live stream. She is one of the best writers at Marvel right now. She's kicking butt on Captain Marvel, and now we get her on Deadpool with Chris Bachalo doing artwork. I'm excited. I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. I think if you have ever been a Deadpool fan, if you've ever been a Kelly Thompson fan, you need to get these messages, comments, or phone calls in. Pre-order your copy. It's #1 a Deadpool.
And I do know that there is one person in the comments that keeps commenting that is a giant Deadpool and Kelly Thompson fan. So he hasn't stopped talking about this book.
So that'll be a fun one. A lot of variant options. Make sure you get it. I like the Mary Jane one because Mary Jane and Deadpool wearing a Mary Jane shirt, does not get better. If you missed Doctor Doom,
Oh no, I was just going to notice that they pulled the Liefeld covers off of that.
oh yes, they did. That is weird, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
bummer.
Something to note. Yeah. But Doctor Doom fans, I mean, obviously Doctor Doom #1 sold out really, really quick. We just didn't order enough, so now's the time to get your order in. Get the second printing in. Doctor Doom, terrorist of the entire world. When the United Nations is coming down on Latveria, I feel that says a lot. So make sure you get your Doctor Doom orders in, get the second printing in. We'll have #2 in soon, hopefully.
I'm eager to read Excalibur 2 because Excalibur 1 hasn't come out yet. So.
Yeah. This is something also that we have to face regularly as comic shops. We're placing FOC orders before we even have our sales numbers from #1. So if you want to guarantee that we don't sell out of Excalibur #2 without you getting your copy, now's the time. If you want to commit to Excalibur, I know issue 1 doesn't come out for another few weeks. Get in your final order cutoff for issue #2. I can't imagine it wouldn't be anything other than absolutely amazing. That team just seems brilliant. I want to see Apocalypse and Captain Britain.
Yeah, while I normally would wait to read issue 1, the way I'm looking at this series in particular, the X titles have been so good that might as well hedge your bets, get issue 2, if you didn't like issue 1, then you don't have to order issue 3.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll put it this way. In all honesty, if you order issue number 2 and then you come in and you don't like issue number 1, you can always cancel your second issue order. But this helps us get a better idea of how many to order, so that way we don't have it the opposite scenario, where you come in and there's no number 2 left on the wall because everyone rushed in and loved it so much after reading number 1. But yeah, it's always a hard thing, I got to say. It's we're predicting the future. We're guessing at weather, without those Doppler radars.
Yeah. And then we have the Fantastic Four 2099.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the first actual individual title that's going to move forward with that.
Yeah. One shot by Carla Pacheco. Stephen Cummings doing the artwork, and it's got one of my favorite 2099 characters in there, the good villain of the Fantastic Four, Doom 2099.
That was the only title I liked back in the day.
Dude, Warren Ellis writing it, Doom 2099 was one of the best things out there. Yeah. But,
and then Immortal Hulk number 27, because we know no one's reading that.
Yeah, it's not like that's one of the most popular Marvel books right now.
King Thor number 3 of 4, and we get Gore the God Butcher's back.
Yeah, Marauders, the absolute hands down best of the X-Men books. I'm just so excited, I'm shaking my hands about it.
And we know no one's reading that.
Yeah, Marauders actually is 100% sold out. I hate to say, we are 100% sold out of issue number 1. It was so damn good. I am working to get more copies in. We will, if nothing else, get more second printings in. But yeah, Marauders number 2. Get your name on the order list. You don't want to miss out on the best X-Men book out there. No.
It's okay.
Yeah, so moving through, I think that's all the big notables from Marvel. Yeah,
that pretty much brings us to the end. I think.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about the indie world with Archie and Friends Travel, little traveling book of the world with Archie. It's definitely gonna be an all ages one. I mean, I think
most of these are still just reprints or second and third issues.
There's, of course, a Grimm Fairy Tales pin-up special that focuses on the armed forces for Armed Forces Appreciation. A lot of great and sexy covers there. Make sure you get those in there.
The Marine Corps one is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, well, I mean, I gotta always support Navy for that reason, but some
the
really
Navy
cool stuff.
one's this one, isn't it?
It's right here. Yeah, that's the B one. Yeah, by
the
McCoy.
Army, and then you got the Air Force over there as well.
All great, all, a fun, sexy way to support your favorite armed forces. And then, of course, at some point, these orders will have to be finalized from Absolute Comic as they continue to list I Make Boys Cry, White Widow, and Markiplier on final order cutoff. Just consider it your extra chance to get your orders finalized on that.
They promise one day you'll get to read it.
Yeah, hopefully soon. Actually, I'm told White Widow should be coming in soon. I'm told we will get White Widow issue number 3 finally soon. But then there's the big ones, the ones that are important, all the Vault stuff. Plot, Relics of Youth. We're going to have second printings on the really, really awesome new Money Shot, which you heard me talk up to an extensive and ridiculous degree on the live stream this past Wednesday. The cool thing on the second printing I want to point out for Money Shot is there is another black bag variant that's going to be a mature 18 and up variant, this time by Chris Burnham, the artist of Die, Die, Die. I expect that one to be particularly mature and sexy. And there's also a normal A cover that is going to be brand new artwork, so if you love Money Shot as much as I do and you need to have 5 or 6 copies with different covers, we got you covered. Was that a bad pun?
I'm not touching it.
Yep. So yeah, those are basically the new comics that are going to be on final order cutoff for this Monday, October 28th. We need your orders in by 8 p.m. on that Monday. You can leave it in the comments. You can Facebook message us. You can call us. Come in the store. Write it on your pull list adjustment sheet. Email us at knowheregamesandcomics@gmail.com. As I am sure Robert is probably, or Wade is already probably typing up the email right now. Thank you all for watching. If you didn't see everything or hear everything, the live stream will recycle as soon as we get off live. And you can click on the comment in the comment section for previewsworld.com/finalordersdue to get to the link and see absolutely everything on Final Order Cutoff. Yeah.
I got nothing else to add.
Yeah.
Thanks for always tuning in.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it. If you like this, feel free to leave a comment in the comments. We're always happy to take criticism that's particularly harsh and, degrading. We would always love to hear your guys' thoughts. If there's things you'd like us to talk more about in the future, if different topics come up, we're open. We enjoy doing this because if we're not doing it live with you guys, we're just going to be doing it awkwardly alone in the corner of the shop.
I love George's comment about Immortal Hulk being a sleeper when it took me like months to get him to jump on that one.
But it was a sleeper, in all honesty. It was one of those things that, like, everyone was picking it up secretly and not talking about it, and then it suddenly blew up.
Yes, next time we go live from the Congo.
Yep. All right, next time, live from the Congo. We'll see you Wednesday when the new comics release. Thank you all for watching.